I remember in school there was one professor. He came close to me and they carry these small thin combs in the wallet. He just hung it like over my head and he's like, if I drop this in, will I get it back or will it just get lost in your hair?
And I remember even that adjusting phase. On top it used to be like really frizzy and on the bottom it used to be like dead straight ends. That ugliest phase. I remember my mum also calling it like a chicken's head.
Just embracing your natural hair is not just hair. Then it comes to body positivity. It comes to everything, all aspects of your life. It just opens up your mind.
So I remember that it took time to see myself with that full curly hair and like really accept myself.
When I met my husband, I had straight hair. So suddenly I started having very curly hair. He used to keep telling me, oh, I think I like straight hair better. People come around, now he loves my hair. And now to gain that confidence back was like life changing. It was amazing for me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another exciting episode of our podcast, Main Talks. I'm Hinshara.
I'm Yuba.
In today's episode, we're going beyond hair tips. It's all about self-love, self-care, and how embracing your natural hair gives you unshakable confidence.
Absolutely. So I remember back when I embraced my natural hair, it was all about the products, techniques, and intricately monitoring each wash day and seeing what works for you, what not. I was so absorbed in that. But later I realized that's not the major part of embracing your natural hair. It all comes from self-care, right?
Yeah.
Because once you start doing that, I started noticing, oh, my skin, maybe I should do something there.
Even
So makeup, right?
Yeah.
So I was someone who never took care of my skin like for years. Like after my second delivery is when I started, embracing my hair. And a little bit after that, I started getting into skincare. And then I thought, okay, maybe health is also something. So I started enjoying all that because I was finally liking the way I was looking with my hair, right? So because hair was taken care of, next was skin and then your health and everything kind of just aligned, right? It just fell into place. So, the kind of love that you get even from others, like people around me, my family, my friends, everyone was noticing that I was more confident. I was loving myself. Like I was loving the way my hair was finally looking in years, being comfortable in your own skin. And definitely, a lot of us have the same story of going through that childhood trauma.
That struggle.
I remember in school, there was one professor when there was some function where we had to just wear like a normal dress, and I left my hair open and I just tied a clip and my hair was like a lion's mane, what you call it. It was so frizzy. And he came close to me and they carry these small thin combs in the wallet. Right? He just hung it like over my head and he's like, if I drop this in, will I get it back or will it just get lost in your hair? And the entire class burst out laughing. And I was so embarrassed. I remember that till date and I hated that guy after that. In fact, even in some, functions where I remember one uncle, he was like, kya chudail lag rahi hai? With that hair.
With that hair. These terms, Maggie, all these terms.
I was so embarrassed, you can't even say anything back because obviously out of that respect, they're elders. But the way it crushes your self-esteem, your confidence, and now to gain that confidence back was like life-changing. It was amazing for me.
Yeah, same here. that whole journey of really accepting yourself, it just started with hair care. And then it went into skincare, makeup, all of that. And I remember even that adjusting phase where I had smoothened my hair like back to back for like 3 to 4 years. So I looked like a different person. And then once the hair started growing, I used to do whatever possible to just keep it like in place somehow. I used to mostly tie my hair up because on top it used to be like really frizzy and on the bottom it used to be like dead straight ends. That ugliest phase. I remember my mum also calling it like a chicken's head. Where there's like a top part and it's like frizzy and uncontrollable and then there's like a full straightened part.
And even the straight part, like how when you straighten your hair, right? The way you say, right, वो अपनी औकात पे वापस आने लगता है. Even the straight part is getting those kinks and it's so ugly.
It's
really
ugly.
ugly.
So I remember that it took time to see myself with that full curly hair, like really accept myself. I remember
Yeah.
walking into college and I used to keep like trying these different styles. We call it protective styles.
Yeah.
Like till the time you're fully confident to leave your hair open.
Yeah.
And then I remember one day a guy, came and told me, "Oh my God, what did you do to your hair? Like you look like an entirely different person in a bad way." He didn't say it as a compliment.
Oh, no.
And I remember all of my very close friends, they kind of backed me up, saying that no, she looks like the prettiest right now because she has, she's flaunting her natural hair. And then onwards, it kind of kept going up because I remember a lot of people in college used to come and ask me and be like, what did you do to your hair? And being that very, I love meeting new people, like you know that
Yeah,
very well. And I love
I
going
know.
up to talking to strangers also. So I remember in college, like very, if I'm walking across like to the class and I see somebody who's a very big university and there used to be people whose hair was really, I could make out that they're struggling. I used to just walk up to them and tell them, like, what do you do for your
Yeah,
hair?
you can do that. I can still never do that.
Yeah, I used to be like, what do you do? There is this thing called the curly girl method. Have you really tried it? I can help you with the techniques. So that's when I realized I really have that passion to I just want to bring about that change,
Yeah.
because I didn't have anybody who kind of sat me down and told me like, that is something made for you. So I think that really helped.
And
me.
this word needs to spread. Still,
Yeah.
there are people, right,
Yeah.
who are not embracing their hair. They're still stuck in that loop of straightening their
it's
hair.
not
chemicals.
professional.
Yeah,
It's not nice, all
Yeah,
of these
so
things.
I mean, really, like just whoever you find on the road with frizzy hair, you can just go up to them
Yeah.
and say that. We did that recently on a flight.
Yeah.
She did that. I'm still not able
And
to
she
do that.
added up, so it was very nice.
And then she'd be like, "Oh, this is my co-founder," and then I'll just butt in. But yeah, she still does that, and I think that's amazing that you're able to do that.
So Yuba, we spoke so much about confidence. But did you really notice that back in the day, when you and I were growing up, obviously, that did you feel like there was representation in the media?
Absolutely not. Nobody like on TV in all the ads. It was only straight hair.
Straight hair. Correct.
Even in fact on media,
If
in
you
movies.
think about movies, Princess
Yeah.
Diaries, like we
My
were always,
God, the before.
the before, and I was like, the transformation is just poker straight hair.
Poker straight hair.
Nothing great, but the poker straight hair is considered to be neater, more professional, more obedient.
That was the standard of beauty.
Yeah.
Straight hair. Everywhere that, especially when I was growing up, curly hair was nowhere like represented, mentioned
Yeah.
anywhere. It was always the before, as you said, of any ad.
Even the word unruly.
Unruly.
Like that used to be associated with our kind of hair.
Tame
Like,
hair.
Tame it down, tame it down.
Yeah.
Even on the bottle, like if you take a serum, for example, tame your hair down or tame your frizz.
Yeah.
That was so. I feel like all of those words while growing up kind of started taking a toll on our identity as well, where we kind of felt like, okay, we don't have a belonging per se, or we are just like a missing piece in the puzzle or not really fitting in.
Like my identity could never actually come out because it was not just taming my hair, it was kind of taming my entire personality, right?
So, where we have seen like now, where we've seen a lot more celebrities, like you name it, like from where I come from personally, I know we have a Taapsee Pannu, Sania Malhotra, Kangana Ranaut, who's like, Kangana has always embraced her hair. Yeah. Or even if I say talk about a few celebrities back in Kerala, there's Rama Kalingal, there's Parvati, Annabelle, and they are taking up roles where they're so openly showing their curls. It's such a big boost for us personally. It's
A
big
lot
win.
of ads also, you will see models
Yeah.
with curly hair,
Yeah.
which was never the case back in the day.
Yeah.
Recently, Nitya Menon in some series.
Yeah,
Fully, like I was in awe of her curl. It
Yeah,
was
she's
so
really
good.
nice
Yeah.
curls. Even Sai Pallavi, she's also a celebrity in the South who really endorses her curls. And even she even endorses her acne because she's like, it's a part of me.
part of me,
you
yeah.
accept me for who you are. That is something we
Yeah.
didn't have back in
In
the
fact, just embracing your natural hair is not just hair. Then it comes to body positivity.
Yeah.
It comes to everything, all aspects of your life. It just opens up your mind.
day.
In fact, the Dove campaign for curly hair, that was
really nice.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
But you can't miss out that Lorraine Massey was the one who really started this revolution
Yeah.
for at least for people like us. So she wrote the book called The Curly Girl Method,
Yeah.
and she started the brand called Diva Curl, and now she's left that company and she started another company called Curly
Curly
World.
World, yeah.
And she came up with some really good phrases
Of
like
course.
"frizz is a curl, always waiting to happen."
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Frizz is a curl waiting to happen.
Happen.
That was the phrase. So yeah, we can't ignore that because she still does that even in this age. She's embracing her
Natural
grey hair,
which
yeah,
is
which
like
looks
a little
fabulous.
more difficult to actually manage, right?
Yeah,
Because-
grey hair is very coarse.
Coarse, yeah.
Yeah, so it is slightly more difficult. So yeah, she's maintaining that and she's still spreading that education also. If you see, she's traveling worldwide, taking courses.
It would be a dream for her to come to
Oh my
India.
God, just imagine.
Yeah, if we could actually get trained under her.
Under her.
Because see, the philosophy of how the routine is structured, how the products are placed, what should be done, I think she's the first one who really detailed it
Yeah.
to the T, you know.
Yeah.
And even if you go through her website, through her blogs, like there's so much to learn
Yeah.
from all of them, like very different perception. And I think she's the one who kind of gave like our kind of hair the notion. With the natural hair movement, it was mostly about the acceptance of Afro hair.
Yeah.
But with the curly girl movement, it really became about curls like yours and mine. You know, more of that 2B to, I would say, like a 3C up till then. Yeah.
What was the crown act?
Yeah, the Crown Act.
That was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was so fascinated,
Fascinated
when I read
by
about
it.
that.
So that act is mainly about harassment in workplaces against wearing your hair natural. Back in the day, Afro-Americans who were heavily relying on extensions and wigs. Because again, curly hair, Afro hair was never considered professional. Like I remember going for my job interview, like right when I got, placed in Deloitte, and I wore my natural curly hair so confidently. And I got a lot of compliments for that too. So
Yeah.
I could see that, maybe through me, maybe some more people will really show up to their interviews wearing their hair naturally. So that was a really nice act which was passed in the US that said that you cannot make any derogatory statements to someone wearing their hair naturally curly.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So Yuba, we spoke a lot about self-care, right? So I want to ask you, what do you actually do for your self-care?
Normally, there is not much time around, to do anything
Because
more.
you're a very busy entrepreneur and a mother.
Yeah. So mostly what I do is a skincare routine which I stick to no matter what, like how tired I am. I am going to follow that skincare routine like a face wash, toner, serum, moisturizer,
Yeah.
the whole thing. Even in the morning, like I have a set AM PM routine which I try to stick to. Then I have a personal trainer which oh my god, that guy is struggling because most days I am too tired to get up
Yeah.
so early, but I try to stick to it for days when we travel a lot.
Yeah.
So there are breaks, but yeah, I try to follow a specific exercise routine, a diet. I have a diet.
And how much do you think a workout has really helped? Like, why did you even really think about
See, because
getting
I
into
have
workout?
PCOD and I think fitness is very important at this age. Like I'm 39, so I keep thinking I need to avoid diseases like say diabetes and
Yeah.
blood pressure, hypertension, all of that. So
And
that was
also,
the
do you
main
think it's about
reason,
the-
right?
Like a big boost, in the morning to get up and do something for yourself.
Exactly. I
To
think
see
the-
how many.
That
How much
is
your body
my
can do.
time, right?
Yeah.
And that is my time, and definitely I have noticed since the time I started working out, the entire day I feel fresh.
Fresh.
Right?
And it'll
I
really
don't-
go well for
It'll
some
go well.
reason.
And if I'm working out, I am careful throughout the day about what I'm eating.
Eating,
also,
yeah.
right? So that's so connected. So yeah, that's pretty much what I try to follow for my maybe physical well-being, but for mental well-being, the most important thing is I love watching series.
Yeah.
I love watching like Netflix, Prime, whatever. So even if I'm getting like a half an hour at night, I have to watch something. It relaxes me like nothing else. I can
Yeah.
completely disconnect.
Yeah.
So I keep telling you that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
when you're stressed, I'm like, just watch something. Just
Yeah.
watch something. So back in the day, I used to always watch Friends whenever I was low. It would instantly change my mood.
Yeah.
And now I just try to follow one series at a time, or it's a movie. So that's something I really, really try to stick to no matter what. It's so important to stay sane throughout this journey, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And what about you? What all do you do?
So for me personally, since I'm living away from home, it comes with its own challenges because obviously it's a new city. There's been a lot of new exploring to do, and I would say moving to Bombay itself has been
Difficult
so much
for you
of
all.
like
Seeing
difficult,
that.
but the learnings have been so amazing. Seeing me really step out of my comfort zone has been, in a way, an absolute adrenaline rush by itself. Like I've really ventured into a lot more things, and fitness has been something that I've always done because in my family, everybody's into working out, whether it's my mother, whether it's my brother. So I feel like that kind of helps you kick in the day with a get going. And I'm also a dancer. I used to dance. Back when I was, small itself, I used to enroll in so many different classes. And having that kind of a energy throughout, I think that's much needed to keep the day going. Imagining how difficult things can get for us. But as you mentioned, if there is a day that you have worked out and you start the day, even if there are difficult situations happening throughout the day, I think there's some spirit to handle it better.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have that time to tell yourself it's okay. According to you, but it's ho jayega.
I mean, then we are in a problem, right? You think of a solution. Okay, you are already in the mess.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. But otherwise, I really love meeting new people. I think that gives me a special, kind of energy. And I love trying out new food. I think the main reason I work out is because I can try new things.
Yeah, she is a foodie. Yeah,
I am
very
a
big
foodie. Yeah. So I think that really makes me very happy. I love watching movies. And I do get to be a little too stressed sometimes. And I think having someone like you as a friend and as a co-founder just tells me to calm down, do these things maybe watch TV, try to disconnect, which really helps.
Absolutely.
And I also love meditating. I take out some time, 5 minutes to just sit with myself, have some thoughts, even journal sometimes.
Yeah.
It really helps, Or even talking to a very close friend back home, that also really helps me just de-stress myself,
So see, I know we've been speaking a lot about confidence, but it's easier said than done, right? Because when you go through it, it's really initially days, it can be a little difficult.
Very overwhelming.
Because, see, I'll just give you an example, a personal story. When I met my husband, I had straight hair, and he has always known me with straight hair. So suddenly I started having very curly hair, and it was so difficult for him he used to keep telling me, oh, I think I like straight hair better. But that can be difficult to even hear, and I felt bad at that time. But then, see, that's me. I have curly hair. So even if you get that kind of resistance in the beginning, you need to stick to it. You need to continue, keep at it.
Yeah.
People come around. Now he loves my hair. So I mean, there is no going back. This is part of your personality, right? So stick at it, and it's also good that you have a support group.
The
we
WhatsApp
have
community.
In fact, there is a WhatsApp group for Mumbai Curlies. It's amazing. We discuss everything over there, be it skincare, makeup, anything that you need. You can just
even
pull out
clothing, what brands will work for travel, what are the
Everything.
itineraries. I mean, so many things are being covered.
And the way they support us, it's like a solid group, amazing women, and we just feel like we belong. When you're part of such groups, in fact, even the meetups that we have, just sharing these stories, it makes a lot of difference. So if you are someone struggling with something, related to obviously this, you can definitely reach out to us. We are there for you. You can connect, you can WhatsApp, whatever works. But we hope we have been through this episode, have been able to help you a little bit in embracing your curly hair or your natural hair.
Also, did you guys know that Yuba and I actually met in a WhatsApp group, for this particular thing? That the group was primarily as a group for just addressing our concerns. Everybody was so new to this whole curly
Figuring it out. Which product?
What are these terms?
Techniques.
What do they mean? What techniques? And I think I remember just being excited to open the chat because there will be somebody new with some new tip that I wouldn't have tried, and I'll be so excited to go and try the tip and come back and tell me, you know what? I'll tag this person and be like, this actually worked. Thank you so much. And we did a lot of sharing of the products also back in the day, right? So all of these things gave us a belonging, which we didn't have while we were growing up.
The kind of confidence, right? It's all about So it's not just embracing your hair, it's actually what you get is confidence. Your life changes.
Being your authentic self.
Authentic.
You know, we don't want you to be in a certain way. We don't want you to look in a certain way. All of that is fine as long as you feel good about yourself.
Yeah. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode and I hope sharing our personal journey has inspired some of you.
If you feel like the story resonates with any of your friends who's just started their journey, please feel free to share it with them.
So guys, this is it for today's episode. If you like this video, please subscribe our YouTube channel. And if you are listening on any of the audio streaming platforms, please follow and leave us a rating there.
And also don't forget to follow us on our Instagram to see more BTS about the podcast and also to join our community.
See you in the next episode. Have fun.